everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here officially starting my EXO Marathon. Now this is not just going to be including the group, but all of their solo affiliates, so there's going to be a lot to look through, but all the vibes to be had. Can't wait to get started on this. As somebody who, back when they had debuted, I was a low-key fan without being a part of the fandom, but somebody who heavily appreciated and really enjoyed listening to them. So I am super pumped to be in this position, looking at them from more of an analytical lens, because I hadn't done that before. So without further ado, let's get started. So this first teaser is just Kai, is what this... Oh my gosh, she's such a baby. I don't even think I said this in the intro. We're looking at all the teasers, which is like 20-something teasers for this group, which I think is so dope. But most of them are just Kai, which I find even funnier. We love it. Yes, have a shot, take it off. Let's go. That's also cool.
She's my baby.
Oh. The cinematic stuff is it's so fun with the random slow-mos in this. Love it. From Exoplanet, Kai. Oh, bless it. These are gonna be so good. Okay. Whoa! I love that you can hear the fabric. It's giving such step up 2 energy. Do you know what I mean? Hey. Oh my god, I love this so much. Oh yeah. Yeah. And this is Tao. Wow, yeah. And it is a heavy martial arts background. Oh, we love these sound effects. We are here for it. It's either they enhanced what was already existing in the space, or they added those in secondary, which I'm here for either way. Yeah. Slow-mo on the aerial. Ooh, get him. Trippy twist. Dope. Fixed point on the leg. Awesome. Nice. Cool. I love it. It feels like for introducing video game characters is how they did these promos, I swear. So this is the one-take version. But it's still in slow-mo. It is cool that they're using their own tracks to promote each teaser, which works. It's cool. Feels we've already got an album prepped, locked, and loaded. That's how SM works a lot of times. Exoplanet. Good old Kai. Don't worry, we get Kai again. I love it. I know he's known as, he was the main dancer for EXO. I mean, he still is. Yeah. Machine. Fringe can go a long way if you're wanting to make something look more extroverted. It kind of feels like, yeah, I mean, we're just showing off the versatility of Kai on some of these. This also could be like a phone commercial, right? Hold up a phone at the end. Perfect for endorsements. Now, I did not know they had a track called Lightsaber before their Star Wars collab that they did, that I've used that song. So that's cool. These are cool effects. Love it, love it. We're here for it. Sehun and Kai. We also got the fabric moving and grooving again. Oh, the shadows were cool on that. If that don't feel like Tony Testa, I mean, the most Tony Testa thing I've seen was Cherry Bomb, but that felt pretty Tony. I like this song. She's my black pearl. It's one of my favorites from this album. Oh my gosh, the hair. And the water. Yeah, step on that water. Make it explode, my guy. It feels like Shiny passed off the torch to EXO is what it feels like. Look at that. There's all the other members. And there's this little Eclipse vibes going on too. I forgot about that. Yeah. The Eclipse, I just watched Hush Hush by ATEEZ and B First, so I think that's really fun because they just had an Eclipse in theirs, but they have their whole other lore in that sense. Man, we're just going through it. Sehun and Luhan. So far we've only introduced Sehun, Luhan, and Kai. No one else. And we're 9 teasers in. Here for it. Looking at a map. Oh yeah. We're here for it. Love it. And yes, there's lore behind EXO. Each one has their own respective superpower is kind of the best way to word it, and they're in their own world as well. So I know their lore. Oh my god. Oh, I've always forgotten about what their hair looks like in these. Ooh. We have such a heavy Michael influence. I could see SHINee doing all of these choreos. It feels so on brand for the times. You know? We're here for it. Yes. Yeah. Which also would further make me feel that Tony was a part of these teasers too, if it's around the era 2012. Is what we're looking at here. He was heavy in the SM pocket at that time. Oof. Lay all day. Then we have Schumann and Kai. Oh no, Tao. We also had Tao. I totally left him off my list. My bad. Ooh, let out the beast. That sounds like straight up doesn't matter. Ba-na-na-na-na. Ever wonder why? So 2000s coded. It's NSYNC that sang that, right? They're all like, we're being summoned by the eclipse. It is time. And I don't know if it bothers you guys, but it low-key bothers me how whenever this, you know, crystallized spherical logo reveals itself, it's never really center. You know what I mean? Look, like, it just bothers me that we're not, like, hanging out at a true center on this, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's always just a smidgen off. And I'm talking about the eclipse just needs to scoot over a bit. Then we can have it truly center, but I digress. Kai and Lay. 2 moons. Oh, that's right. Roll like a buffalo. The reason why I know this song is because of the roll like a buffalo. That's Chanyeol's voice. Yes, slow-mo moment. We're running out of time. Kai said so. Oh my god, I love this so much. Yeah, look at the little baby crump influence going on with good old Lay over here. Yeah, love it. Cool stuff. Say hun number 2. Now, I think I'm very familiar with this because they use this for What Is Love. This song. As you can tell, I hate it. Oh, this is probably my most played EXO song is this one. Oh, look at that. That's dope. Look at those dope cuts. He's got the coat. Dope. Yeah, golly, these bring me back. Oh, it's a continuation. That's right. Oh, I forgot.
Girl, I can't explain what I feel.
That was a smidgen awkward if you think about it. Now, you know what they could have done? Which is what I'm thinking about now? Because they have XOK and XOM. They haven't showcased the K and the M yet. This would have been a perfect time to reveal that, if that makes sense. But you would need Lay, or you'd need somebody from the XOM side to showcase that. That's just... It feels like they freestyled a lot of these teasers. Ah, here we go. He said, hey. That's a classic. That is a classic EXO song, man. Through and through. Who's next? Tao! Dope. Yeah! You better. I just find it wild the amount of teasers we have, because maybe it's just because I haven't watched teasers in marathons, but I know the teasers are like a huge thing for EXO, like these teasers here. So I just, what's the word? I just find it interesting that there's so many. I love the dust effects. Makes the visuals look super dope. Nice. We're here for it. These are so fun. Guys, when I say there's like 20 something, there's 20 something. Wow. D.O. and Suho. So the closest thing that I have to a bias would be D.O. of this era, of just younger. I haven't really seen his like super recent work, so I can't tell you if that still stands. But man, the man can sing. He still has my favorite tonal quality of a vocalist across all of K-pop. He still is my top spot for me. It's nostalgic now too, so there's an extra layer of dope AF vocals. But man, gosh, she's so young. They're all so young, and we know this, but okay. Chris. If you don't know about Chris, Chris is the leader of XOM. Your boy left at Overdose. And I think, is he still in jail? If that tells you any of that. I think he still is. Now I'm curious. That was like the simplest trailer of them all. He just lifted his hands and just did a little hop, and we're here for it. Love it. Kai again! Here he is, we found him. Okay. So, I mean, when we get through all the teasers, I think I'm just going to do an overview of movement quality because we've seen a lot of Kai. And everybody that showcased a dance performance outside of Tao, they have a heavy MJ. Honestly, I'd throw in Shiny influence on here. They are the first, I mean, they're one of the first groups of Gen 3 that existed, was this group right here. And you can tell they are so Gen 2 coded through and through. They're in the transition. They were the group that they experienced the transition of Gen 2 to Gen 3 energy, right? So man, this is so interesting watching this. And this is the first time you're technically seeing Baekhyun and Chen. So he said, hey, come to my crib. Look how cool my stuff is. Baekhyun is the vocalist for XOK and Chen is the vocalist for XOM. But Chen is Korean as well as Schumann. So they're not very familiar with Chinese as much. But this is one of the only, I think, type of K-pop projects I have seen on their follow-through for as long as they did it. Where they released an XOK and an XOM, like a Chinese and Korean version for almost every release. That's dope. Those are fake contact lenses with the color of them, because you could just tell from how it looks, right? So if you see like right there, they put that in his little eyeball. I mean, or maybe they just added it as a little extra effect because that little that eclipse is also fake. But I digress. That's cool. First time you're technically seeing those two, which is cool. El Dorado. Oh. So they had El Dorado in their very first album, but they also brought it back for a different album too later on. Chan Yeol, Mr. Rapper of the group. You always have to have a resident deep voiced rapper, it feels like, right? And that was Chan Yeol's role in the group. They all have that little swoopy swoop. Call it the Justin Bieber fringe from middle school Biebs, you know? Man. Bum bum. Bum bum. So, don't worry, if you hadn't seen Kai yet, you have 7 teasers to pick from. That's cool. Ooh, he's doing good on some tension holds. No need for the cinematic slow-mos. He can just add them in himself, as we have seen. They're working this boy for this debut. He's carrying like the performance side of things. Of course, you got Lei as well, and Luhan also helping, but. Cool. have Lay and Sehun. Oh, that was cool. Oh, so I bet you it's one of those rotating ones, so they give the illusion based on the cuts that they're just able to dance on all four walls. That's what it's giving me, which is cool. That's the spicy looking poncho shirt Lay's got on. A little shamrock. The complimentary fits. Luhan's jacket matches. No, it's Sehun. Oh my god. Sehun's jacket matches Lay's pants. If you're noticing, all of them have the same freaking hair. So even though I know who they are, ain't gonna stop me from getting confused. If I didn't know them, I would be screwed right now. I'd be like, who is who? Because they all have the same hair. All of them. Goodness. Okay, I think we only have one more teaser. And it's this one. This is cool. Did we finally get like a dance performance with everybody? Cool. It feels like, okay, all of our puzzle pieces are coming together. It's kind of what we're doing with this teaser here. Luhan and Lay, what that looks like here. There we go, that's your final teaser until their debut took place. Ooh, lordy. Okay, overview time. When it comes to Kai and literally all the members, you see a heavy, heavy stiffness of the torso for the refinement of our choices. That's something that stems from when you train. I would say Tony Testa's choreo kind of exudes that as well. If you want to hear me go super in depth on like the mechanics of this type of posture, just go to pretty much any shiny choreography from their debut up until probably 2014. I think it's definitely, I brought that up until Taemin has his solo debut, from like debut to danger. Just look at any of those and you're gonna hear a lot of this type of movement quality from me there. And so I'm going to see if I can try to bring something slightly different with this. We'll take a look at everybody here because it's, this is our first everyone's all together kind of vibes. And I do believe the first time that all of them dance together or promote a track together is Ururong. I think they promote separately as two separate groups in History and Mama up until then. I think it's still that, like, I think that's just a really interesting concept. I don't think it had been done before, to my knowledge, in this niche of industry. So it was really cool. It was a trendsetter for sure. There's your accent boom. Now, I'm not saying that groups didn't promote in different countries. I don't think anybody structured a group like EXO in the K-pop industry before, where you have two, and literally they were treated like two different groups, which is low-key cool. Like, it's cool. There's your accent there. So Kai is kind of like he kind of feels like the glue through the movement quality that glues all the members together, because he's the most familiar individual. So by watching all the teasers, the person that you would naturally want to know is my guy right here, right? And so I like the choice where he goes and he slides and he has a lot of tension and a lot of presence and he fills up his space really nice. through these choices. Also, we're not dealing with cinematic slow-mos, so this does feel very placed, very intentional choreography. A lot of his choices that you did notice did have a freestyle twinge to them, and it's because of how the movement's set up and finished. And also, when you think about the focal points of the type of track it is, there's certain moments that a lot of times through choreography you would intentionally hit, but in freestyle, because you're calibrating your toolkit and not as a refined area as choreography is, you may miss some of those focal moments that you normally would hit in choreo. And so that's what I was clocking on that. We only did a couple teasers like that. So you have some of our guys go super low. I like that little do-do-do-do with the rotation. I bet it's super awkward when you just look at that, but I like that little environmental shift that took place as he's moving through. They hit it through with the accent. They're looking, and he hits it do-do-do. Really nice choice. I also would feel like some people would think that Kai's a leader, but really it's Chris is the leader of XOM and Suho is the leader of XOK. And you only seen Suho one time with Dio's teaser. So I just, if you were an XL and you were like a part, if you're like an OG or you know all this information, I am looking forward to our conversations that we're going to be having, because remember, I wasn't a fan, but I watched enough content where if I was going to be a fan, I could have, but I wasn't diehard. But I really, really liked, I always watched all their stuff, their variety show performances, all that. That's what fans do, you know? So there's a lot of little syncopation, little isolation choices happening with the hands, usage of the wrist. There's your bleeds once again. And I like that you're involving subtly different people with all of it. But once again, it's still a Kai teaser because they're SM's promoting it as that. And then you have all your other members there too with your arms boom boom. Now, is there a reason why Kai is the promoted one in these? There's always a chance of that. Was he known as like a really well-known trainee, XYZ? I don't know that kind of detail, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were taking advantage of the clout that Kai was bringing. I'm just projecting here. You know, they're using and capitalizing where he's the only confirmed member of this group, and so they're like showcasing him. Just like with other groups that have come through SM, people are very familiar with certain trainees already before they even debut. That's what I'm kind of educated guessing here with this, is that people were already familiar with Kai before he debuted, and it's hence why he's showcased like this. I like the accent with the hands, and they present it out, the rotation through, and I like the little bleed. And it, honestly, they did a little pivot, or they did a turn into a shamrock, which I like, and they bled it with the chest. So those were fun choices, sliding through. And if you've seen like Rover or you notice his movement quality he has adjusted, but you still see some implicit posture overlap here. Yes, I've seen the courses of those, but I had not done an analysis of those, so I don't know the full context. I just know the focal point choreos because of the challenges that have existed with those tracks. But it's really cool to know that where our starting point is to where we see him, because even those choices here with the little sweep around or the Ranajan, they're lifted pretty high on that, and I know that was an intentional choreography choice, but normally you see people go and sink low into it, or whenever they Ranajan or do that sweep, there's extra variety happening in the chest, but because that was completely absent, it felt just like a placeholder, which is what a lot of this choreo comes across as. And I discovered with this movement quality, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen Amigo by Shiny, because I uncovered this there, and I will talk about it here because I know there's a lot of you that watch EXO. So, one reason with this style of choreography, it doesn't, it's not my favorite, if I'm being honest, because what I uncovered by watching Amigo was this. With the choices of some of the syncopation, musicality, it doesn't feel authentic, or it doesn't feel like it's tailored to the actual track that it's being performed on, because there's a lot of timbres. Timbre is sound context or instrumentation. It's a very vast term, but in the context of how I learned it, it's just the sound quality, or what kind of instrument it is, what kind of sound it is. It's not just a beat. What kind of beat? Does it come from a bass? Does it come from a drum? Does it come from a piano? You know, where does that note originate from, right? And then you can go on and on from there. But timbre is a really big, deep, and vast void of sound and information that you can glean as a choreographer to make your choices. And for me, because there is a lack of groove, and there's nothing wrong with not having a groove here, but because of some of the tracks that they were dancing on and Kai was dancing on has an obvious groove present in it, And by him having an absence of it, it kind of felt very surface level or very plateau in his execution of his movement. But I also know a lot of his movement is tailored to the choreographers in which he trained from. And so that is an implicitly known movement quality that he actually gets to mature through and we get to see as a benchmark, right? Remember, this is 2012. This is not 2024. Kai dances, and all of them dance very differently now. Some of them probably are like, peace, I ain't dancing no more. Hey, you do you, that's fine. And then some of them, that's their main niche. And hey, we live and we celebrate that, right? So that's why for me, this type of stuff, it's also really hard for me to talk about because it's very similar. It's just texture overlaps and it feels like I'm beating a dead horse, or like I keep reiterating the same thing. So I feel redundant as an analyst whenever I look at this style of choreo, whenever we don't have any variety of formations or variety of staging and spacing, and you're just given content that has the same ebb and flow of dynamics. That's in kind of an overview of what you would see with this genre here. Yeah, stepping it through, a little body roll. You notice he had a more profound body roll compared to my other two guys. I know who they are, but I'm just saying, like, in general, this is a Kai teaser, and they branch away, little twinkling in with the fingers, which is nice. He walks to the back, da 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 na na. He goes, he snaps it. They all go down once again, slightly not centered. It's something that we just have to get used to, and that's okay. Also, you guys let me know, did they completely just forego the exoplanet, you know, and the lore of it? Because, I mean, maybe I'll uncover it myself, but if you want to give me or brace me for whenever they just kind of cut off the lore, let me know. Or do they keep it? I don't know any of that. My gut tells me they didn't keep it. Which makes me a little sad, but also I understand they didn't really control any of these things. They're just doing what they're told is really what this is right now. But we're here for it. I love the fact that we got to look at these teasers. I had seen some of the teasers because of the affiliation of their appearance in other tracks. But it's just really cool to kind of see them in this way, knowing what I know, and me being older too, because I was really young whenever these were out. Because it was 2012. I had like just started high school, I think, for myself. Yeah, so this is, I was younger, like way younger than they were when this came out. Bless it. Ooh. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more EXO, I'm gonna have a lot of it. A lot of it's gonna be put on YouTube, but so much more is always gonna be accessible on Patreon. We're gonna be looking at pretty much all of their discography, like I've mentioned, and their solo works, whether or not they have dance affiliated with it. I do know here I did more of an overview of their movement quality in comparison of a play-by-play like what I normally do, but we all know we're gonna have plenty of that in store in our future analysis. You guys know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.